Cannot afford even a £1 meal a day while they are here in the so-called investment. They are investing in our lives. They are investing in our torture. They are investing in our rape. They are investing in our kidnapping. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. We are here. We can see the so-called ambassador from Uganda. She's of the Indian origin. She's of the Asian origin. She left Uganda because in Uganda we had a brutal dictator by the name of Idi Amin. She ran away. She came to the UK. Now she's ambassador representing Uganda. A brutal regime, a murderous regime. She forgot that Ugandans for the last 40 years, they are being murdered. They are being tortured. They are being raped.
We don't want investors.
We don't want no investors in Uganda.
We don't want.
Invest in Uganda. They are investing in our rape. They are investing in our murder. They are investing.
Killing.
We are calling. We are warning and calling the Asian brothers of ours, the Indians, our brothers and sisters. Stop sponsoring the brutal dictator. When that day comes, you regret, and we don't want to go there. Because we are peaceful people. We want to make a change. We cannot make a change while we are supporting, financing, promoting the brutal dictator. People power. Our power. This is the sample.
Yes.
It's just started. We are very sorry for the neighbors. That you might think that maybe we are mad. You might think that maybe we are crazy. But we are talking about Uganda, a very beautiful country in Africa, which has been ruled by the brutal dictator M7 for the last 40 years. That cannot be human rights. That cannot be democracy. The poster we have here are Ugandans who are missing. They were kidnapped of the people from Uganda. They've been murdered. And now today, we have the officials from Uganda having a conference here. The so-called investment in Uganda.
No way!
People invest in our lives.
Yes.
People invest in our murder.
Yes.
People invest in our lives.
Yes.
Raping.
Yes.
Kidnapping.
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
Corruption.
Yes.
In the day of today in Uganda.
Yes.
You are talking about a brutal dictator.
Yes.
Who is 13.5 billion rich.
Yes.
He's 13.5 billion rich. We don't have no roads in Uganda. We don't have no schools in Uganda. We don't have hospitals in Uganda.
Yes.
Their children, they can come to Oxford.
Yes.
Their children, they can come to Leicester University.
Yes.
While Ugandans cannot go to school.
Yes.
Ugandans study underneath the trees.
Yes.
But under this brutal dictator,
Yes.
a brutal dictator, M7,
Yes.
a warlord,
Yes.
a man who doesn't respect human rights.
Yes.
People power,
Our power.
our power,
People power.
NUP,
Everywhere.
everywhere. We are talking about decency in Uganda.
Yes.
We are talking about simple human rights in Uganda.
Yes.
Why M7 to be working?
Why is that so not great?
They calling.
Yes.
This is a clear message.
Why invest on our grave?
Why are you investing in Uganda
Yes.
under this brutal dictator?
Yes.
By investing in Uganda,
Yes.
you know what you are going for.
Yes.
We know the mineral resources in Uganda.
Yes.
They are very cheap. Under the brutal dictator Museveni, you can go and take as much as you want, but you are not going to finish it.
Yes.
Not to profit.
Yes.
An Indian Ocean origin from Uganda.
Stealing.
Is he the one I'm looking at or no?
No.
Is he not the one?
No, not
I thought this is Lord Pocket.
No.
The man who stay in the House of Lords.
Yes.
Representative
Yeah,
of a repressive regime
Yes.
in Uganda.
Yes.
You think that a Lord
Yes.
who is in the House of Lords
Never invest in
have a
Uganda.
big brain
Yes.
to understand that Uganda
Never
is not
invest
safe
in
to
Uganda.
be invested in.
Yes.
By investing in Uganda, what would be the sense
Yes.
The brutal dictator.
Yes.
For those who doesn't know about military tanks,
Yes.
he just bought 40-90 tanks from Russia.
Yes.
Each tanker costs 10 billion Uganda shillings. When you convert it,
Yes.
it's 7 billion each tanker. We are talking about a brutal dictator. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, UK. Good
Yo.
morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. We are here to interrupt the Uganda-UK investment. There is no investment we can allow to go on in Uganda when the regime in Uganda for 40 years has been killing Ugandans. The massacre of Ugandans and killing them. We can't allow such an investment to go on. You have misplaced funds. This is a guy, a junta, who has ruled Uganda for 40 years. Putin has ruled Russia for 22 years. Museveni of Uganda has ruled Uganda for 40 years and is talking as if he's starting. We are not going to allow fake investors. How can an investor come to Uganda and be given Ugandan funds to invest in Uganda and be given land and tax-free? And these are the people sitting inside here. They are here to eat Ugandans' money. This is the money that comes from grants. People, we are advising you, you are investing in the wrong place. Indian origin for investors should learn a lesson. When Indian Aid came, he reversed this. Be sure we are going to reverse this. We are not going to take any more fake investors. What Indian Aid was trying to do is to take away fake investors. Stop the fake investors. People who masquerade that they are investors, they are fakes. Inside the building here is something going on. The fake investors, the people masquerading like investors. But what's happening? They are giving Uganda money, giving Uganda land. We pretend we are investors. We are not going to allow this to happen. You will go somewhere else, less than school. We are going to make sure you leave everything. I think you did learn the lesson in 1972. Fake investors that are in the building here, including the ambassador, Madvan, they never invest. They did invest. They take money from Uganda. So the Uganda investment, industrial investment, is not an investment that benefits the 45 million Ugandans. This is, we never stand this. We are going to show you the same path Idi Amin followed. Those are the fake investors working. We will ensure the investors don't get there. How can an investor come and be given money to invest? How can an investor come and be given loan by Uganda? How can an investor come and be given land for free? How can an investor come and invest? We fake Uganda. We are not going to allow the fake investors.
People power.
Yes, that's our taxes. That's our taxes. UPA, Uganda.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We are here. We are demonstrating
Yes,
against the so-called investor.
yes.
The so-called investors from Uganda. Listen today. The so-called investors who are trying to invest in Uganda, they live on the council flats in the UK.
Yes.
Those are the investors going to
Yes,
Uganda
I
today.
know. Go on, fake
How?
investors.
How can you believe
Regime
that
sympathizers.
someone
Working
from a council
pastors.
flat in the
Regime
UK
praise singers.
can go and
Working
invest in
pastors.
Uganda? My brother, that is a joke. We have people here who lives on council houses, they invest in Uganda. They are on the dole. They are on government benefits, and they are the people going to invest in Uganda. That is a mockery. That is not real, my brother and sister. It's only in Uganda where you find that people who live on the council flats in the UK, they are going to invest in Uganda. It's only in Uganda where you find people, the 3% is torturing the 97% in Uganda. We are calling on the so-called fake investor, Mr. Patel, the VIP. What are you investing in Uganda? It's a shame on you, a respected man like you, a man who ran away from Amin for the fear of your life. Now you're investing in our torture. Shame on Mr. Patel. People power. Our power. We are calling on the Indian and Asian brothers of ours to stop investing in our torture, to stop investing in our murder, to stop investing in our rape. That's why we are here. We are standing here to expose the brutal dictator M7'S of Uganda, that under his regime, under his brutal rule, you cannot invest in Uganda. The officials from Uganda, they were given £100,000 for only a one-day conference, while Ugandans in Uganda, they cannot afford paracetamol, they cannot afford £1 meal a day, and they are here as investors. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. We are here for the cause of the 45 suffering Ugandans. We here, we have jobs, we are professionals. We called off time from work, but we are trying to expose the brutal dictator of Uganda by the name of M7'S, by the name of Kaguta. Uganda, we are here in the name of Ugandans. We are standing here representing the suffering 45 million Ugandans under the brutal dictator of M7'S. 40 years in power. 40 years in power is more than enough. The brutal dictator, he has been in power for over 40 years, brutalizing, raping, kidnapping, murdering Ugandans. By investing in Uganda, you have blood on your hand. You have blood in your family. We'll never leave you free. Even if we die, our spirit will look after you. Our spirit will come for you. People power. This is not about church business. We are talking about reality in Uganda. We are talking about M7'S, a brutal warlord, a man who has invaded DRC Congo, a man who is looting the mineral resources of DRC Congo. You cannot invest in Uganda under this brutal dictator. You cannot even go to Uganda under this brutal dictator. People power, our power. You talking about investment in Uganda. You talking about these poor people, the poor men and women who live on the council estates in England, and they are going to invest in Uganda. That is a joke. You can't come from a council estate to go and invest in Uganda. It cannot happen, but it's real. It's happening now under the brutal dictator M7'S of Uganda. People power. He has been in power for more than 40 years. 40 years is not more than enough for him. We are talking about Uganda. We are talking about the brutal dictator M7'S of Uganda. We are talking a peaceful country which was Uganda. Look at the investors who are attending this summit. They all benefit scavengers. People who live on benefits. They are the people going to invest in Uganda. That is a joke. People power. Our power. We don't have no schools in Uganda. under this brutal dictator.
Yes.
The last, listen to this. We have the main referral hospital in Uganda, called Uganda Hospital. The cancer machine is out of service for the last 8 years, and it was donated by the UK government. But the brutal dictator M7'S is 13.5 billion rich, 13.5 billion pounds rich. But in Uganda, we don't have no schools. In Uganda, we don't have roads. In Uganda, we don't have hospitals. When their children get sick at their wives, they come down to St. Thomas Hospital and they are given free treatment. These are medical tourists.
Yes.
While Ugandan health service is on the ground, it doesn't exist no more. But because they can afford to fly first class tickets to come to Europe, this is Ugandan's money. But we don't have no investors today whom we look and say, yes, this is a credible investor. What have they invested in the UK before going to invest in Uganda? These are fake investors. If you don't have a business in the UK, how can you go to invest in Uganda? These are poor people.
They live on the door.
Like me, they live on the door.
And then they invest.
And now they're investing in Uganda. This is Uganda, where it happens. People from the council flags in the UK going to invest in Uganda. That is fake. You don't have a business in the UK. How are you going to run a business in Uganda? A simple answer is the brutal dictator M7'S, he has opened anyone who wants to go to Uganda. You'll be given money to invest. That is Uganda. So the fake investment summit here is not real. They are coming to recruit their militias who will be going back to Uganda to work in M7'S factory and company. Let me tell you, we've got petroleum in Uganda. 97 and 7 families who own it. The CEO of Canada Road, who said it is planning road, Ohodi, he has got 35%. Ugandans have got only 15%. But that 15% doesn't reach the ground because the brutal dictator M7'S is so corrupt that he has decided to eat Ugandans the bone. Our power. NUP, everywhere. We are talking about the 30 investment colony, this most expensive hotel in Mayfair. While Ugandans in Uganda can't afford even a £1 paracetamol. But the officials from Uganda, each was given over £100,000 only for one day in the so-called conference. People power, our power, people power, our power, NUP, everywhere.
Kunga Uganda, Kunga Uganda, Kunga Uganda, NUP, everywhere. Kunga Uganda, NUP,
everywhere.
I can hear you, NUP,
everywhere.
Now we are here not because we want to be here. We are all professionally qualified from different fields, from different walks of life. But we are here to expose the silly things that go on in Uganda. The people sitting inside this building are not investors. They are people who are coming to take money away from Uganda. Most of them, a good number of them, live in council plans and they are on the door. And the same people are being called investors. How can you be living on the door, investor and transport, and then you turn out to be an investor in Uganda when you can't even afford to look after yourself in UK? These are the people we have investing in Uganda. The conference going here behind me is full of Asian people from Uganda who live in Western Bradford, okay, on the door, be an investor, and then is given tax-free, is given land, and given so many millions of pounds, which end up back in UK. Lord Puppet, in the House of Higher House, he is the man behind this. Don't blame these guys. Lord Puppet makes them come here so that they go back to Uganda in suits and take the money and bring it to UK. Please never think the people behind me here are investors. They are kings. They are down to sit down and see what is the ground. And the Ugandan government gives them the opportunities. Tap this, and then we give you free money, free land, and tax-free. The people who are seated behind here are doing nothing other than thinking of how much they root Uganda. This has gone on for 40 years. Museveni, the Duke of Uganda, has ruled long enough more than Putin. He's done more evil than Putin. He deserves a big praise. God invest, God give them chance. When you must start sitting inside here, you will see a certain clique of people from a certain sector of people. Why are they no Americans? Why are they no Europeans? It is because the community inside here is a certain section of people who are ready to steal Uganda, and they have ties with Lord Puppet. Lord Puppet ensures that this every year, this function goes ahead for his community to go back to Uganda and steal. Be warned. What Idi Amin did was minor. We are going to throw you out of Uganda because you broke Uganda so much that the animosity you built up between the community and Uganda, and just said, we come as revenge, and it will come very high. The other time you flew back by plane, this time you fly to the grave. Be ready, revenge is coming, and revenge is coming hard. We are not going around. People who live in Leicester, who live in Bradford, who live in Manchester, arrive as investors. If the camera can be turned around, these are the investors coming to attain an investment program. How can somebody at the door, living in Bradford Council, be an investor? How can somebody living off housing benefit be a better investor? How can somebody who cannot afford meals and live on vouchers parade himself as an investor? These are the people we are having here. They come from a certain sector of Lord Puppet, and we are making sure this time it's not going to be fair. We are going to pay Leicester. It's going to be death. We are not going to allow you to take a single penny out of Uganda. Last time when I knew Uganda, it was okay. Idi Amin gave you a fair way. Good enough. But this time, rent happened. Museveni has made sure he gives you the money and the shipment back. Via Lord Puppet. We've seen enough scaling of Uganda. In the last 40 years, Museveni has scaled money through his agent, Lord Puppet. We are not going to stand. We are not going to stand. And you don't protect me. Uganda is 45 years together. I'm not going to allow this to happen. Uganda, every everywhere.
People power, our power. We are here for the whole day, not because we are jobless, but we've got a goal. Why we are standing here today is against the brutal dictator of Uganda by the name of M7'S, a brutal dictator who has been in power for 40 years. Ugandans, they have been and they are still being brutalized by this peaceful, brutal dictator of Uganda by the name of M7'S. People power, our power. professionals. And today, we had to go off work in order to come here and highlight the human rights abuses in Uganda under the brutal dictator, M7'S of Uganda. We are trying to highlight that 3% of Ugandans are seeking or brutalizing 97% of Ugandans under the brutal dictator, M7'S of Uganda. We have been in the back for 40 years. In Uganda, we don't have no roads. In Uganda, we don't have no hospitals. In Uganda, we don't have no schools. So why are you coming? And what are you going to bless a man who has been in the back for 40 years? What new can he tell us? Why has not invested in Uganda for the last 40 years? Now coming to 41, is he going to invest? This is a man. When you invest in Uganda, you are investing in our mother, you are investing in our culture, you are investing in our race, you are investing in our kidnapping. As we stand here, we are condemning the so-called investment summit going on while Ugandans are dying. They are here enjoying a good life while Ugandans are dying. They are enjoying a good life while Ugandans have no food to eat. They enjoy the good life while our children don't go to school. We've been here longer now, but Ugandans in Uganda, they can't even afford to go to school because of East Pakistan, what the so-called investors. People who will just shame on you. Shame on Mr. Patel, a man of integrity, to go and invest in Uganda under our money.
Yeah.
You cannot
Stop blocking the footway.
the murderers living in Uganda.
Stop blocking the footway.
Remove the brutal dictator. And by investing in Uganda, you are making our struggle longer. We are hoping that the brutal dictator of Uganda will be going soon, and is going soon. So please, don't invest in our torture. Don't invest in our murder. Don't invest in our rape, because we know the brutal dictator is on his last leg.
Out.
He's standing on one leg.
Yes.
We are waiting for the second leg to go down. And Uganda are going to claim their country. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
For the last 40 years, he has not invested in Uganda. Now, after 40 years, he's planning to invest in Uganda. Is that real? That is not true. If he wanted to invest in Uganda, he would have invested 40 years back, not when it's time for him to go. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. We are here for the cause. We are here for the 45 million suffering Ugandans.
He's not in the car.
No voice.
He's not in the car.
We
When we see
here
him, we take.
representing the poor Ugandans. We are here for the Ugandans who can speak, because in Uganda, these are no friends to where you represent. When they catch you, you'll be murdered. If you're a woman, you'll be raped. If you're a man, you'll be castrated under this brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
You don't invest in the so-called investment in Uganda. There is no Uganda tomorrow under this brutal dictator. When you invest in Uganda, you are investing in our culture. When you invest in Uganda, you are investing in our mother. Because the brutal dictator, he has put us for the last 40 years. Because of our land, because of our mineral. This man is a foreigner. This man is not a Ugandan. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
We are here. Some of us have been living here for more than 30 years. We call this is our country. But Uganda also is our country. We think about our ancestors, how they are being abused, how they are being tortured, how they are being raped under the brutal dictator M7.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
My brothers, I've already talked to you. Invest in Uganda. You are going to lose your money. By the
And
grace
life.
of God, by the grace of Allah,
And
the
life.
brutal dictator is going soon.
What about Tanzania?
Tanzania is saying,
Okay.
you can go and invest in Tanzania.
Go to Tanzania.
You can invest in
Kenya
Kenya.
is good.
Not Uganda. In Tanzania, under this brutal dictator, they've changed 7 presidents. In Uganda, we still live under the same brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Don't go to Uganda to invest in Uganda. Don't go to Uganda, even as a tourist. You'll be murdered. Muslims are not allowed in Uganda. Muslims are being killed in Uganda. So standing on the truth by calling the brutal dictator M7 to go. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
MP. Ngira.
London.
Kato, oyinire eno ku kaabu oba n'oli kafutu engejjukirira. Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard it all. Time and again. Here we come again on the same message. We are looking for democracy. Once there is instability in one part
Yiga.
of the world,
Yiga. Nkubira omukazi oyo picture. Waliwo omukazi ajja n'alingiza n'addayo.
today
Omukubira
we're
ekifaananyi.
talking about one part of Africa. It is
Here comes the investors.
called Uganda.
What you see are the investors going.
We are talking about a country that has been
Those.
violated from the time it got independence.
Those are the investors entering the building.
We're here to advocate for the brutal violence of human rights in Uganda. My colleagues have raised to me today. I'm going to retaliate a little bit back. As I've already said, we had Churchill going to Uganda, and he titled Uganda the Power of Africa. What happened? We've heard about the so-called
Kato.
monster Idi Amin. Everybody labeled him as the monster of the generation, the dictator. But guess what? Behind Idi Amin, there was another dictator who was worse than Idi Amin. Believe it or not, the dictator behind Idi Amin was the one M7'S, the imposter in the president's office today. Now, I would like to address the people who are listening today on the violation.
What you see there is an investor.
in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, we might be making noise,
Kato, investor mukubi.
but there is a message
Mukube
we want
ekifaananyi.
to pass across. Ugandans are suffering. Ugandans are dying. You
Mukube close
remember
up.
the 1994 massacre in Rwanda? You gave it a deaf ear. But believe you me, over 1 million people died in Rwanda. Now Rwanda is the next door neighbor to Uganda. Did you ever find out what caused the massacre in Rwanda? It all started in Uganda. Who was watching the massacre of 1994 in Rwanda? It happened on the watch of Museveni and Kagame.
Museveni must go.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we come up here and we talk about these things, these are crucial issues that are affecting human rights. When we talk about human rights, it all starts from your home. Like my colleague mentioned, we've been away for over 30 years from our countries. We come over here. England has hosted us long enough. Enough is enough. But as long as the legislators, the lawmakers like Lord Popo,
Yes.
Priti Patel, these are the people who are leading the dictator in Uganda.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's not be fooled. You taking those brown envelopes from the dictator, you are creating injustice and displacement of Uganda.
Those are the so-called investors.
Taking on so much load after you messed up. Lord Popo, shame on you. You are the position of the Lord, the lawmakers, the legislators in this country of democracy. The United Kingdom is the mother of democracy. How come we have legislators dealing with monsters around the world? These dictators who have created instability around the world, the whole world is in turmoil. Do you like what you see? Do you enjoy what is going on around the world? So when you see all of us here standing wearing the red berets, wearing red, that is the color of the opposition party. That is the power, the color of the people, elected by the people to work for the people. Now, our opposition leader, the president, the elected president of Uganda, was shot last week. It is a shame. It is a shame that it is a shame.
Be on the right side.
That we are here.
Be on the right side of the people.
Crying for freedom. Especially the people.
Yeah, you may be judged. Be on the right side.
The dictator. It is a shame. Because you also left your home.
Time may not be on your side.
Why don't you go back home? The question is, all the people working for the dictator, you are fueling the injustice of Uganda. The elected president of Uganda was shot a bullet 3 days ago for the simple reason because he is the opposition. And he was elected president. Now, right behind me, the Radisson building behind me, apparently
Mayfair
Hotel, which I don't want to involve because it's a lovely hotel.
Very expensive, very posh.
Unfortunately, they've been fooled to host a bunch of goons. Be honest, these people don't deserve to be hosted in such environments because they are wasting the taxpayers' money from Uganda. And ladies and gentlemen, don't get me wrong. This money is some of the British money as well. They are living a luxury life because the lawmakers, the legislators in the United Kingdom go ahead and fuel and support this illegal government. So that's why we're here to highlight, expose the injustices that these people are doing. These are very expensive hotels. But if they can host these delegates, supposed to be delegates from Uganda, unfortunately, these are bloodsuckers gathered here behind us. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. And we apologize for the officers around here who think we're making so much noise. But the noise is justifiable. The noises are justifiable, ladies and gentlemen. Because the more we keep silent about these issues, the more the world goes in tipsy-turvy scenarios, situations where people have been displaced now and again. And the British people are fed up with picking up the pieces. Innocent as we are, we're paying an arm and a leg just to survive. What for? To sustain these dictator governments around the world. Look at the Ukraine people being displaced. What's happening in Russia? What's happening in so many parts of the world? They are all suffering. I want to tell you one thing, any immigrants that you see on the soil of the United Kingdom, they've got a story to tell. So don't just chase them around. Have a word with them. Talk to them.
Our power.
The message is about Uganda. There is no security. The infrastructure is diabolical. The health system. Apparently, the elected president, Robert Shagulanyi, the president of the people, to work for the people, was shot by M7'S gunmen, monsters mafias as they call them. He was shot on the streets of Kampala yesterday. So we're here to advocate, to expose the injustices of these people. We know you are listening inside this building and you can hear us loud and clear. We are begging you, if you're going to do any business with Uganda,
De-invest, not invest.
if you're going to invest in Uganda, you're investing at your own risk. Let me repeat that loud and clear. If you're trying to invest in Uganda, you are at your own risk. Do some investigation.
Yes.
We are not bad people here, ladies and gentlemen. We are not bad people.
Yes.
We are professionals here. We've decided to speak for those voices that cannot speak for themselves. Believe me, in Uganda we cannot have a peaceful demonstration like we're having here today. That's why we're taking advantage of this situation to expose the so-called mafia people in this building right now, trying to exchange deals. All the investors in this building, you can hear me loud and clear. Let me repeat this one more time. Don't invest in
Uganda.
You are risking your
Money.
You
Finances.
are risking your health. You are risking the people of Uganda. Take your money to Tanzania, to South Africa, anywhere else. But please,
Don't
please,
invest in
walk away
Uganda.
and run from Uganda if you can. Don't risk your money in Uganda. It's a failed state. That's why we're here. You know the noise is we are Ugandans. We are born and bred Ugandans. But hey, guess what? We love the British people because they listen to us. They give us the freedom to exercise our democracy. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I tell all the investors, listen to the small voices on the street.
Right.
These people are monsters. Trust me. They're a bunch of mafias ready to rip you apart. What happened to the Rwanda program? Pretty Patel, where are you? Come and talk about the Rwanda program. Who paid for the damn program? That was my money and the British taxpayers' money. And we talked about it. Thank God you're kicked out of office anyway. Because you're a bunch of useless lots.
Another Ugandan.
And there you another Ugandan.
Yes, that's it. Pretty Patel is a Ugandan.
The whole lot. Unfortunately, even Rishi Sunak comes from Tanzania, apparently. So they know what's going on. They are just bluffing around with people's lives. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. The message is these people are rude traders, rude mafia people. Don't believe in them. Bannayuganda bamufuuyira olwaleero abali gye muli yonna naddala mwabagamba nti I know more ffe twasoma ffe twakola njagala obbabulira bannange
Mbuga.
mukimanyi bulungi mwafuna omukisa okgenda mu masomero ago agabayamba okutuuka emutuuse naye ate biki bye mukola omusajja Kyagulanyi njagala aveeyo omukumwe bw'ati nga tuziwalira pate agambe nti nno amusinga ku byalina aveeyo omuntu omubwati ku myaka gye ng'egifuna naye omwana mwezi yeewaddeyo n'awayo obulamu bwe alwanira gwe nange enguudo ze mutambulamu nzaagala amalwaliro gabasanyusa amasomero g'abaana bamwe gabasanyusa wano mugenzi okulwala
Be on the right side. If you're Ugandan, be on the right side. The moment is coming.
amasomero agabayamba jogera namiryango buddo nabbingo layaza mwagayitamu gonna muli luddawa mwefudde nafeswagala kumanya babakobalako ebyommwe muleke kubeeranga mukawungo muzuukuke oyo Kyagulanyi pulezidenti waffe kumwogerako teri omukumwe agenda kumwenkana naye obulamu bwe alwanirira muwe mulinga abalina amazzi matu muzuukuke muswale ekafo once mukole ekituufu.
The investors are coming out. Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Everywhere.
FUP.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, people
Yeah.
power starts of the people, elected by the people.
Yes.
For the people. And guess what? People power.
Our power.
Democracy. But as long as we have a bunch of loonies, rouge traders in Uganda, the mafias are making our lives so miserable. We are going to make so much noise. We're going to speak for the people of Britain. Britain has had enough of the immigrants. I'm sorry, we're all immigrants. But guess what? Somebody is fueling the most of the land and filling up the United Kingdom with immigrants. The people behind us in that building are having a conference to steal your money, to steal the taxpayers' money.
Muwoninze. Abere ku luuyi lutuufu.
Let's stand up together. Go on social media. Go and find out the human rights of
Abantu kati basigaddeko munaana.
Uganda today. Social media, it's all there. People power,
Our power.
our power,
People power.
NUP.
Thank you,
People
Salom.
power.
Our power.
As you've heard my colleague, we
Yes.
are standing here
Yes.
because of human rights abuses in Uganda.
Yes.
That's why we are here.
Yes.
And there is a so-called investment summit
Yes.
behind the building we here.
Yes.
This is Mayfair Hotel.
Yes.
To have, even to book a conference room for one day, it will cost you, if not £10,000.
Yes.
Officials from Uganda.
Yes.
Each of them, they will pay £100,000 to come here for only one day conference. While Ugandans in Uganda cannot afford a £1 paracetamol. While Ugandans in Uganda cannot afford a £1 meal.
Yes.
Because the so-called
Yes.
from Uganda, there are more than 10. You are counting 1 million put under the drain for the so-called business investment conference in Uganda. You're talking about investors, people who have never had business before. You're talking about the so-called investors here.
They live in
People
council
who
flats.
live on council flats.
Yes.
You and me, you cannot live on a council flat
And be an investor.
Invest in Uganda.
Yes.
It's only in Uganda where this happens. The brutal dictator of Uganda, he has been in power for 40 years.
Yes.
He has never invested in Uganda.
Yes.
Ask yourself, the brutal M7'S of Uganda is 13.5 billion pounds rich.
Yes.
He is the richest man in Africa.
Yes.
In Africa, we used to have the richest man from Nigeria.
Dangote.
Dangote.
Yes.
Now the brutal dictator of Uganda
is the
You have
richest.
taken him over. Ask yourself, a president of Uganda, where does he get that huge amount of money?
BRICS
Because
funds.
of corruption.
BRICS
This
funds.
is the man who have invaded DRC Congo. He has looted the minerals from DRC Congo in the name of Uganda, in the name of democracy. This cannot be democracy in Uganda. When you have a brutal dictator in power for 40 years, in the UK, we've changed 13 prime minister.
We still have
In
one
Uganda,
dictator.
we live under the same brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Their children, educated in Oxford and Cambridge.
Yes.
The poorest one.
Education, tourism.
Ugandan School of Economics. They are paying £30,000 a year.
Yes.
For their school fees, accommodation, and all of you understand. Most of you have been to the university. Where Ugandans cannot afford to go to school in Uganda. They study underneath the trees in Uganda.
Yes.
When it rains, there is no classes in Uganda.
Hospitals.
When it rains, there are no lessons in Uganda.
Yes.
While they bring their children to Europe for education.
Yes.
If Uganda was good.
Yes.
Why are their children they are here?
Why do they come
If
to these
Uganda was
hospitals?
good, why do they come here for medical tourism?
Tourism.
They come here for medical tourism because Uganda is a failed state under this brutal dictator.
Yes.
We had to come here and stand for the 45 million Ugandans
Yes.
who cannot stand on the street like us today.
Yes.
Because in Uganda, by wearing the red beret,
Yes.
you might be asking why we have the red beret. It's a sign of torture in Uganda. When
Yes.
you wear red beret, if you're a man, you are going to be sodomized. If you're a woman, you are going to be raped. And
Yes.
this is the torture in Uganda.
Yes.
We are talking about torture in Uganda.
Yes.
All this is no science fiction. These are real images of Ugandans who are
Yes.
being murdered, who are being tortured, who are being raped,
Yes.
who are being sodomized under this brutal regime of M7.
Yes.
We hear people here, they are having a conference to invest in Uganda. Invest in Uganda.
Wait,
You are investing in our rape. You are investing in our torture.
Yes.
You are investing in our kidnapping.
Yes.
That is the door of Uganda.
Yes.
The most worst corrupt country on the world or in the world is Uganda.
Look at the corruption index.
You can check on the corruption index about Uganda. We are not here to take fake news.
Yeah.
Check on the corruption index of Uganda. It will tell you Uganda is the worst
Corrupt country.
And that's where you are going to invest your money. You must be living in a dreamland to think that you can leave UK to go invest in Uganda. We are calling on the Indian brothers of origin, the Asian brothers from India, not to invest in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Why in the UK we've changed 13 prime ministers? And why in Uganda we still live under the same brutal dictator for 40 years? Simple answer. No democracy in Uganda.
Yes.
No respect for human rights in Uganda.
Yes.
No respect for humanity in Uganda.
Yes.
You're talking about a warlord.
Yes.
A man who picked up arms. He
Yes.
seized Uganda by force.
Yes.
For the last 40 years.
Yes.
We live under this Lord Hope.
Yes.
We live under this Lieutenant M7'S.
Yes.
M7'S of Uganda.
He's a murderer.
warlord. He's a murderer. He has been torturing,
40
Uganda
years.
for 40 years. Idi Amin was bad. Listen to this. They say Idi Amin was bad because he killed over 50,000 Ugandans. M7'S of Uganda, he
Yes.
has murdered more than 3 million Ugandans.
Yes.
You don't sit on the BBC. You
Yes.
don't sit on Sky News.
Yes.
Why? This is what we are talking about.
Yes.
The injustice in Uganda.
Yes.
The human rights abuses in Uganda. Being
Yes.
swept underneath the carpet
We.
under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda.
Yes.
He has got no peace in the UK.
Yes.
People who go to the BBC
Yes.
and tell them not to talk about Uganda. He
Yes.
has got lobbyists who will go to the Sky News and
Yes.
tell them, don't talk about Uganda.
Yes.
And in turn, what are they given? They are given brown envelopes not to talk about Uganda.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
We are here today. The officers are here looking at us. In Uganda, we'll be ready for our life.
Yes.
So they are brutal murderers. The so-called policemen in Uganda, we call them thugs. They are murderers.
Murderers.
Here in the UK, the police are making sure that we are safe during our protest. People power.
Our power.
This is what we want in Uganda. This is what we want in the new Uganda, where policemen are part of the community, not the problem among the community. People power.
Our power.
How can you talk about investment
Yes.
after 40 years in power? After 40 years in power in Uganda, we don't have no working hospitals. We don't have no schools in Uganda.
Yes.
We don't have no hospitals in Uganda.
Yes.
A country of 45 million Ugandans,
Yes.
we have been serviced by 10 working ambulances.
Yes.
Ugandans don't want military patrol cars.
Yes.
The brutal dictator, recently, he bought 30,000 military trucks.
Yes.
But in Uganda,
Yes.
we don't have no working ambulances.
Yes.
Ugandans want hospitals.
Yes.
It's only in Uganda where you find a brutal dictator. He's building, he's constructing prisons than hospitals.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Because he wants to silence the opposition. He's
He-
building prisons.
He's got more
He's
prisoners
building
than patients.
He's building death torture chambers where men and women are being raped.
Passing
Where
out
men and
security.
women are being tortured to death instead of building schools.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
So now, if you are going to invest in Uganda, you are going to invest in our Toto. You are going to invest in our murder. You are
Yes.
going to invest in our rape.
Yes.
That's why we are here today. To highlight that at no cost
Yes.
you invest in Uganda.
Yes.
Under this brutal dictator.
Yes.
There is no accountability. There
Yay.
is no accountability under this brutal dictator.
Yes.
He is the president of Uganda.
Yes.
The brother is the minister of finance.
Yes.
The wife is the minister of education.
And sports.
The son is the army commander. You go to his nephew.
The brother is the governor.
Saleh. He's the minister.
Governor of Central Bank.
This is it. He's the governor of Bank of Uganda.
Yes.
Uganda as a country.
Yes.
Is being ruled by only 3%. 97 are living under this brutal dictator Museveni.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Every day. Good morning, Ugandans. Good morning, Ugandans. NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Now, we've got an investment program going on here. And we don't encourage anybody to invest in Uganda. We discourage and tell you never invest in Uganda. There is nothing to invest to. Look at the people going into the building to be investors. They are from a certain section, a certain group of people who are ready to steal Ugandan wealth and bring it back to Leicester, Bradford, and Birmingham. Look at the people walking in to pretend and masquerade like investors, live on the door. They live under housing benefit. How can somebody on the door walking here with just an iron shirt and trouser and be an investor in Uganda? This is what scheming has been about.
Museveni, who has ruled Uganda for 40 years, has been scheming Uganda all throughout. It's the only country where an investor comes and you're given land, an exempted tax, and given the money. We've got the biggest, largest hospital underground. There is a hospital called Noah Hospital. It's not building up, it's building down because it doesn't exist. That's the thing about it. Our hospital is an underground hospital with 10 stories in the basement because we've never come out of the foundation. Now, Museveni wants more investors like Maria Benetti, an Italian, who has schemed Uganda over $1 billion. He wants Fazil something and Somali woman who has schemed Uganda over 500 million. And now, Lord Puppet in the House of Lords has his group, brothers, relatives, cousins, inside the building there. What are they doing? They are mapping out where to steal and which minerals to steal from Uganda. They have stolen everything to the extent no Ugandan minister, no Ugandan president goes to hospital in Uganda. The hospitals don't function. They all have medical tourism. No Ugandan president, the junta in power and his ministers, all their children come to UK, education tourism. So this is a person who is not ready to invest in Uganda. If he can't build hospitals and schools for Ugandans, then why hold an investment for developing Uganda? He has ripped Uganda of everything. The brother who is the central bank governor in Gulu is in charge of all the minerals. The son is in charge of army. And the wife is the sports minister. She can't even run 5 meters. And then the wife, who has never been to school, is the minister of education. What we are telling you people here, don't come to Uganda to invest. Any sensible person, don't come to Uganda to invest unless you are the likes of Pinelli, the Italian, all these mafias who come and masquerade as investors. I'm not saying anything, but look at the cameras and see the pack of people walking in as investors. You will judge what kind of investors we have in Uganda. People from Bradford, people from Leicester, people from Sheffield. These are the investors. They're all people. Why do we have other people from other walks of life? Because they know how to steal the Ugandan money. Stand warned. In 1972, Idi Amin did something. This time, it's not Idi Amin. It will be the local citizen, they will do something. And that something, there won't be time for you to pack the goods and leave Uganda. The Ugandans are sick and weary, and the most they cause with a certain group of people is beyond beggars' belief. So, be careful, you investors who are walking in from Bradford, from Leicester, from Halifax, from Wembley. You are not investing in Uganda. You are de-investing. You are given money, and this money you bring it back to UK. We've seen this through World Puppet. You've seen UK grants being given to Uganda, and then they are brought back to UK. That's taxpayers' money. You can never benefits. You remember the scenario, Rwanda refugee, 350 billion pounds, all thrown down the drain. The same thing has happened in Uganda for 40 years. They have ripped off this country of the rich minerals. They have grabbed every single land, and they have stolen everything you can think of. And these are the so-called investors. And when the junta visits, he heads straight to Wembley and Leicester to shake hands and pick up his lot. We've seen this go on every year. There is an annual festival that takes place And all these people who have been given the invest money, Museveni comes, the junta, comes to pick up the money. NUP?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
NUP.
Everywhere?
NUP.
NUP?
Everywhere.
Kunga?
Uganda.
Kunga Uganda?
Kunga.
People power.
Power.
I see this like Ahmed started the demo. Now, as we are here, members are coming. But before we carry on with this demo, we need to set up a 1-minute prayer. We are going to pray for our president to make sure that the president he recovers quick. Because on the 20th, we have him in the UK. And that's why we are here today. Before we go on, we need to say a 1-minute prayer for our president. Mr. Pastor, you need to take over the mic because we are going to have a short prayer to make sure that we send a clear message to the brutal dictator in Uganda that our president will never kill him while we are still alive. Thank you. People power!
Power! Canon!
That we should pray for our country. We should pray for every Ugandan. Ugandans' lives matter. Their blood
Speak
is
louder.
the same. Their blood is also red like
A little
any
bit
other person's
away
blood.
from the footway.
So, we are going to pray. Father in heaven, we just want to thank you for this country.
Take Museveni.
This country that has given us this freedom. Freedom to speak for the voiceless. Freedom to stand up and just speak and highlight about the problems that are happening in that beautiful country, Uganda. And Father, today, as we stand here, and there are lots of people trying to do investment in that country,
Stand here.
they're trying to have an investment conference, I don't know what, but right behind us, and yet we know, and yet they know that Uganda is a lawless country. There is no freedom of expression. There is no rule of law. And Father, we know of late how much people have been tortured.
Speak louder.
People have been taken to hospital. People have been shot. People have been in prison. People have been abducted. And recently, the president of Uganda was shot at. And Father, we just want to pray that, Lord, you cover that country. You cover it with your precious blood. That people who live in Uganda will rise up and that they will stop being in fear. Just give them that boldness to rise up and claim their land. I just want to pray for some people.
You still have time to be on the right side. The young man there. You still have some time to be on the right side. Yeah? The right side. The people's side.
Amen.
But your
People power. After having that special prayer to our president,
canon.
so that
Right, left hand.
and we are waiting for
Right,
him to
left
come
hand.
to the UK next week. That's one. We are here today as a Ugandan community in the UK.
Emusonyod.
Against the so-called investors in other terminology are called it a crime scene. If they were policemen, they would be calling this place a crime scene. Because criminals from Uganda
I hear.
are here.
Yes.
So in other words, we are standing at a crime scene where crimes have been committed.
Yes.
And if I read down the crimes which have been committed by this brutal dictator, I'll start with rape. In Uganda, rape is a normal word. In the UK, rape is one of the worst crimes the man and the woman of the cross. We are calling on the so-called investors from Uganda not to invest in our culture, not to invest in our murder, not to invest in our torture, rape, kidnapping, sodomizing Ugandans. We are calling on the community, officers, members of the public. You shouldn't be investing in Uganda. It's a shame that we have some few individuals who are still thinking that the brutal dictator, having been in power for 40 years, Uganda is safe to come investing. We are talking about simple things like roads, schools, hospitals. You can't get that in Uganda. Under this brutal dictator, M7'S of Uganda. When you invest in Uganda, your money is going down the drain. You invest in Uganda to help Ugandans. But that's not the case as we stand here. You are investing in M7'S pockets. You are making M7 richer and richer every day by investing in Uganda. M7 is 13.5 billion rich. And when you invest in Uganda, you are slowing our revolution in removing the brutal dictator M7 of Uganda. When you invest in Uganda, Ugandans cannot afford even a £1 paracetamol.
Matchbox.
But you are making rich and richer the brutal dictator M7 of Uganda. We are calling on the UK residents, the UK national, not to invest in Uganda. Uganda is not safe for you. Uganda is not safe for us. Uganda is not safe for anyone under this current brutal dictator M7 of Uganda. A brutal dictator who has been in power for 40 years. A brutal murderer. A brutal rapist. M7 of Uganda. We are here not because we don't have no work. We are professionals. We have engineers here. We have nurses here. We have doctors here. We have cleaners here. They've all called on time from work in order to represent the 45 million suffering Ugandans who cannot stand on the street like me and call on the dictator to go. M7 must go!
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 Anita must go!
Anita must go!
Anita must go!
Anita must go!
M7 must go!
M7 must go!
M7 must go!
M7 must go!
People power!
Our power!
Our power!
People power!
We are standing here. We are here the whole day. We are trying to highlight the human rights abusers in Uganda under the brutal dictator M7. When you hear the word human rights, it looks very big. But we are talking about democracy in Uganda. Women not to be raped, men not to be sodomized, children to go to school, people to have a decent meal, and people to be treated in hospital when they are sick.
Yes!
Under this brutal dictator M7 of Uganda, all this is not there. There are no working hospitals in Uganda. There are no schools. But M7 is the richest brutal dictator in Africa. M7 is the richest brutal dictator in Africa. And it's in Uganda where you find the president, the minister for education, is the dictator's wife, the army commander is his son, the minister of finance is his brother, the governor of Uganda is his cousin. This is only in Uganda. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Uganda, a 45 million nation. We have been serviced with 10 working ambulances.
Fire engines.
That is the Uganda of today. But the brutal dictator M7, he has just bought 30,000 military patrol cars. It's only in Uganda. Instead of building, constructing hospitals and schools, the brutal dictator is constructing prisons. Ask yourself why. That is why Ugandans are being murdered. That is why Ugandans are being tortured. That is why women are being raped. That is why men are being sodomized under this brutal dictator. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
I will call on you, all those brothers and sisters of ours from the Indian origin. During the time of Idi Amin, some of you are young. They call him the worst brutal dictator on earth. Now, M7 of Uganda is 10 times Idi Amin. That one tells you that Ugandans are not safe under this brutal dictator. That we are calling on the UK government to put more sanctions on Uganda.
Yes.
All the ministers, the Speaker of Parliament,
Yes.
he was sanctioned by the UK government.
Yeah.
Because of corruption, the money, your money, my money, is sent to Uganda to make rich the brutal dictator richer.
Taxpayers' money.
This is taxpayers' money. They are sending to Uganda
Yes.
to make the brutal dictator richer. It's
Yes.
13.5 billion. And your money goes to Uganda to
Yes.
make him more richer. People power.
Our power.
We need to ask accountability
Yes.
from the authorities,
Yes.
the UK government.
Yes.
Why they are still sending your money and my money to Uganda?
Yes.
While the brutal dictator is
Yes.
13.5 billion rich.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
There is no construction of roads, no schools, no hospitals. The officials here, they've been paid £100,000 for one-day conference,
Yes.
while Ugandans cannot afford a £1 paracetamol.
Yes.
This happens only in Uganda.
Yes.
It's only in Uganda where you find the dictator has
Yes.
got a motorcade of 120 vehicles.
Yes.
But one vehicle costs $200,000 because they are armored cars.
Yes.
So count 120 by 200,000.
Yes.
For mathematics. That is one day.
Yes.
For the brutal dictator, Ugandans are spending
Yes.
200 million a day
Yes.
on his expenses. It's only in Uganda where you find a
Motivate.
brutal dictator. His wife is the Minister for Education. The brother is the Governor of Bank of Uganda.
Yes.
But they are still asking for investment in Uganda.
Yes.
You ask yourself, for the last 40 years,
Yes.
where is the investment gone?
Yes.
Why we don't have no schools in Uganda?
Yes.
Why we don't have no hospitals in Uganda?
Yes.
Why we don't have no roads in Uganda?
Yes.
After 40 years,
Yes.
it's because of the brutal dictator M7.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power. Yes.
People power.
Our power.
M7 is a dictator. M7 must go.
M7 must go.
M7 must go.
M7 of Uganda must
Anita
go.
must go.
Anita must go.
Mpuga must go.
Buga.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Majari wa.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the party goes,
Yeah.
We are talking about the injustices, the corruption, the kidnapping, the rapes. These are the factors that are destroying Uganda. We come from Uganda. The people you see here wearing the red berets represent the opposition party which won the elections in February the 14th. Apparently, in Uganda, there is an imposter in the president's office. And this imposter is none other than Museveni, the man who won the 14th election was His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Ireland. We've got a conference going on for foreign investors. And they're called Seville.
Hey! Come here, man!
Iruwa lisa wano.
Nzere kabisa misinde ngamanye ekibulete mulaye kyabufere abafere nzere katubufeko wano naye abaana bamunyonya kati we babeera kwala ali bwaki asodika yali badde ono adifendinga gavumenti ye eyekifere. People power, our power. Even MPs for the future dictators are running away because they are ashamed to enter through us here. They can know because we are here for the cause of Ugandans. We are here for Ugandans in Uganda. Ugandans who can talk under this brutal regime of Museveni. Now we can see the so-called investors, people who live on council flats in the UK. They are going to invest in Uganda. Ask yourself, what are they going to invest in Uganda? Someone who lives on a council flat, going to invest in Uganda. It's only in Uganda where this happens. Those are the investors we are talking about. We are talking about the fake investors from the UK who are running away because these are people who have got no morals. We are calling on this gentleman from India origin. This man was in Uganda. He was born in Uganda. But they decide to turn against Ugandans. But don't forget at the time of Idi Amin, you ran away. But time is coming again.
They will run to the grave.
You'll be running again second time.
Grave.
But this time you are not coming back. People power.
Power, power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP. Everywhere.
Through this time they run to the grave.
Hello, Ugandans. The investors are busy coming in. We've just had a quick snap of Muhammad Agege. He ran his life out. Anyway, he will never run as fast as he did. Now, what we're talking about here is the investors in Uganda coming. But these are people, Uganda gives money to invest in Uganda and exempts them tax, and they don't pay for water, they don't pay for anything. And these are the so-called investors. We have a good example of Mariati Penny, who is building a hospital which has been under construction for the last 5 years, but it's never left the foundation. And Uganda has paid the investor over 700 million. I just can't believe the investor Benetti was given another 500 million to invest in coffee. She was asked, do you know what coffee is? She says, I don't know. So these are the investors we have. The other type of investors we have, which I totally am opposed to, are the investors who live in council flats and they are on the dole and they get state benefits. And then they put on suits to go to Uganda and pretend they are investors because they were linked to the regime, the junta in Uganda. And when they leave Uganda, they come back here and send money to the dictator's account. We as Ugandans are not going to stomach this. People you see here are not beggars. People you see here are professionals. People you see here are children of Uganda. People you see here are from all walks of life. They are all from all walks of jobs. Don't think we are here unemployed. We have doctors, lawyers, engineers, call it whatever you want, nurses, cleaners. But because of the pain we feel, we are dedicating to Uganda. We can't allow to see people who masquerade as investors stealing money, bringing it back here, and then share the load with the dictator in Uganda. The dictator in Uganda for 40 years has stolen everything. This is a man, for 40 years, he has never built a hospital. But to say the least, he has built 4 hospitals because 4 prisons, because he expects more prisoners than patients. This is a man who is escorted by very expensive cars. Even the fire service, you cannot see the fire engine if you're born in Uganda at the airport. Most Ugandans have never seen what a fire engine looks like because he's denied them emergency service. Fire engines and good policing is an emergency service. It's not a privilege, it's a prerequisite. So the dictator has made people belittled people so much for people to think that passing out 300,000 soldiers is the best thing. There's 1,111 interns. They don't have the money to go out and start working in the hospitals. Yet he passed out 400 army soldiers who were all paid in advance. Is this fair? Is this what we want for Uganda? The army get paid. The interns who work and run the hospital, the medical interns have never been given the money to go and work because the government gives an excuse, there is no money. Now, going to another issue, Anita Monge, one of the left hand from 70, she's moving parliament to the north, west, east, and so on. Is this what we want? We are not interested in that. It's like having an investment. Uganda, there is nothing to invest. There is nothing to go and invest in Uganda. Most of the people who you see walking into here are not investors. They are going to loot the country. They are looters. You see the type of people walking in here from Bradford, Leicester, Wembley. They are walking in to see what they can get out of Uganda. They are not investors. They are not going to see what they have to bring to Uganda. For 40 years, these people have never brought anything to Uganda. They are de-investing. They take what is there and take it to ruin. They are not investing. The only thing they're going through this exercise is that the officials enjoy a privilege of allowances. So they get the allowances, fly abroad, and they live a very above average Ugandan life. Don't think they are interested in anybody. When they get sick, they come here. Nobody is working there in the investment to see that he's investing in hospitals or medical facilities. I've given you a good example. Pinetti has been paid 600. How can an investor come and be given money? We expect him to bring resources and invest in Uganda. Is this okay? NUP? Everywhere. Kunga Uganda. Kunga Uganda. Now, what kind of investors do we have when they barely have any money to invest? You've seen people walking in here. They barely live on dole. They live on housing benefit. And most of them live between Leicester, Bradford, Wembley, and such places. And they walk in here as investors. What type of investors who are penniless? You wouldn't be on a benefit and be able to invest. And this is the type of Uganda the junta brings. How can you invest when you can't even afford to feed yourself? You live on the dole. So, Ugandans, don't be convinced. We are here to see that we tell people what is happening. Museveni, the junta of Uganda, has raped Uganda for 14 years. We are left with nothing. He came in when there were 26 functioning hospitals. Today, we have 26 hospitals not functioning. Museveni, when he came in, we had lots of forests. Today, the forests are gone. He came to Uganda when we had schools. Today, we have shelters as schools. Is this investment? No. We don't need their investment. We don't need their money. We don't need that. Kunga Uganda. Kunga Uganda. No NUP. Everywhere. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Hello. We are Ugandans, but at the same time we are British. We've been here for more than 30 years. But today, we are representing our ancestors in Uganda. Because in Uganda, there is no democracy in Uganda. I would like to go to Uganda, but I'm scared to go there. I haven't been to Uganda for over 30 years. Because of the brutal dictator M7'S of Uganda. Now when we are talking about the investment in Uganda, Uganda is not a viable state to invest in because it doesn't respect human rights. When we talk about investment right in Uganda, you're going to invest in our torture, our murder, our rape, sodomizing, and kidnapping. That's why we are standing here, sending a clear message to the fake investors who are coming from the council estates to go and invest in Uganda. Uganda is richer than someone who is come from a council estate to go and invest in Uganda. You have never had a business in the UK. What makes you special that you are going to invest in Uganda? You have never had a corner shop in the UK, but you want to go and invest in Uganda. We know very well that you are going to work for the brutal dictator M7'S of Uganda. We know very well that your investment is our torture. We know very well that your investment is our murder. We know very well that your investment is going to sodomize men in Uganda who are being sodomized on a daily basis. Women in Uganda are being raped on a daily basis. Men and women in Uganda are being tortured on a daily basis. We stand here today. We know we've got missing Ugandans who have been missing for the last 44 years under this brutal dictator. But there's no accountability to our missing Ugandans. We have names here. We have John W. We have Muhammad. We have Don Bosco, Musa Kavma, Judah Fembija, Mosisi Mbowa, Musa Kavma, Yasin Toleko, George, Olivia Mutaya, Sefuja, Bani. We cannot name them and finish the list. These are all missing Ugandans. These are Ugandans who were murdered by the brutal dictator. These are Ugandans. We want accountability from the brutal dictator. What's wrong? Ugandans, Listen to this. We have a man. By the man. These are people who live on the council state. And they are coming here and they say they are going to invest in Uganda. Uganda is for Uganda. And whoever is going to invest in Uganda.
Tosonga lugalo gesture police eyinza okukwatira kukwebeza ng'oyogera Luganda.
And we say, Mr. Patel can come invest in Uganda. But we are not going to allow the jobless guy to say that they are going to invest in Uganda. People power. We are here for human rights. We are talking about the brutal dictator who said in Uganda. The brutal dictator was being in power for 40 years. In the UK we changed that in Prime Minister. Ugandans are still living under the same brutal dictator who said in Uganda. The brutal dictator who has not tortured and killed Ugandans, but he has also invaded our neighbors. DRC Congo is on fire because of M7'S. M7'S is M23. M7'S is M23. These are the people who are calling people. These are the people who think that Uganda is for them. We are telling all these dictators around the world to come out of people.
Take us from Uganda! Murderers! Blocking the passage. Mutaka mu kamera.
People power, our power, our power. People power, Bobby, people power, our power.